Welcome to Animal Rescue Postmortem, where we analyze animal rescue videos from around the world, breaking down techniques, outcomes, and the critical decisions that make these rescues succeed or fail. Hosted by Chief Carmack, who holds certifications in multiple technical rescue specialties and has over 40 years of experience in human and animal rescue. Get ready for an insightful look at these life-saving operations.
Volume 9, video number 13. We have a koala in a tree here. We're going to use a capture net to catch it. And you can see it's in the net, and it goes all the way down to the bottom of the net, or the full length of the net, which is exactly where you want it to be. You can see why these are really good for animal handling. And then I'm going to discuss this after just a second here. So we see them going to use a towel. A towel is another very effective item that you can use for animal handling. It can be used in so many different ways I can't even sit here and start listing them. Okay, so I'm going to go back to this footage here, back to the beginning, and let's see if I can pause it. So you're using a net. It's going to go in that net, and then following the mouse here, it's going to go down to the end of the net. That's exactly what we want it to do. Now, what I want to do is talk about this net here in particular. That's one of the reasons I like this video. Alright, so it's down at the end of the net. Two things about this net I don't like. One is the size of the netting itself. And what I mean is those diamond shapes in between. It's the space that's between the net holes. That can lead to a lot of different entanglements on animals that you don't want to have, where you might have to cut your own net to get them out of that. So we use small mesh type nets we use small mesh type nets. My goodness, trying to get that out. In place of those big whole nets, because it's a safety thing. It helps prevent an animal from getting entangled in that net. The other thing that we want on a net, and let's see if I can get that stopped. It's not a perfect image here. It's not very clear, at least to me. It's not on the screen here. We can see that there are no cinch strings or cords on this net here, so that when you get the animal inside the net, the only way to try and keep it in there is to turn the net on the opposite side of where the animal is. So we've got that the animal goes into the net here, and it's dropped down here, and then what you want to do is turn the net over so that, and then I'm going to go back to the pointer here, so then it takes that length of net and turns it over on itself. However, that's not a very good way to secure an animal inside that net and keep them inside there while you're trying to maneuver around with them and get them into something secure like a crate. And so you want something that cinches down in here. I don't have a net on hand, or I'd show you what I'm talking about. But so you want that cinch cord so that you can cinch the animal in there, hold on to there, and keep that tension on the cord, and it locks them in there as long as there's tension on the cord. And it also makes it much easier to get them out, like we're going to show here in just a moment. Now they're trying to put them in this tiny little wire cage crate thing here. And I agree with the use of the towel. The towel can be really effective for using that. But what's missing here? What's the one thing that you can see very obviously that's missing here, as far as safety goes, PPE, is there's no handling gloves here. Koalas have teeth, and they can break the skin. And the thing is, you're always trying to prevent a bite. The last thing you want is a bite, because if IV antibiotics don't work, all right, you're probably going to end up with an amputation, all right, or sepsis. So we're always trying to prevent a bite. So there's no legitimate reason why they shouldn't be using animal handling gloves here when they're in close proximity of the mouth of this animal. All right, so as we watch how this progresses, so they're doing the breed over out there kind of on that. And I'm sure these people are handling koalas all the time. However, all it takes is one bite infection. That's it, just one. So we're always trying to prevent that. And then I like the airline style crates that we have here in the United States. So I'm going to turn that up on its end so the opening is up in the air like this. And so there's a length to it when I'm doing something like this. And then instead of dumping it in here, I'm pointing with my finger again. Instead of dumping it in here like this and trying to keep it that way, I will take my net and the length of it and keep it cinched, closed, set the animal down inside the crate. So I'm going to go back on that just a little bit. Set the animal down inside the crate here. So the net is elevated here. It's still cinched inside there. I drop it down inside, and I set it down inside the crate. Close the door, then release the tension on that's holding the net closed, and the animal will drop out of that. It may take a moment, 30 seconds, whatever. Just it will be a brief period of time before the animal disentangles from that and drops down inside the crate. And I've got the lid almost completely closed except for the amount of space that's being taken up by the net itself. Pull that out, close the door, latch it, and you're good to go. I really don't like these little wire cages here. In addition to this, if this is set up like other wire cages that I've seen in the past, the bottom could fall out of this thing. I've seen it happen with cages like this before. So that's why I use exclusively airline type crates, kennels, whatever you want to call it, to put these animals in, so that once I get them in there, I know they're secure, and like the bottom of the cage is not going to fall off. Because this just looks like a regular cage to me. However, I think it's a koala. They're in Australia. They have to be. Or they're at a zoo someplace. And see, watch, he picks it up by the wire. I have seen that happen multiple times where you pick it up by the wire and the bottom falls right out of it. The animal's sitting in there. It just drops down. It's looking around, and it either flees or somebody's close by and able to grab it with the net. All right, so a good net, a closed mesh net, animal handling gloves, and a net that you have a cinch cord on that tighten that around there, and then a proper crate. That's all I got for this video. I don't know what else to add to it. All right, that's it.